My dear friend, don't close this story. Not yet. Because what you're about to hear may sound impossible. Yet sometimes, the most unforgettable stories begin with the quietest moments. This is not just the story of a mysterious letter. It is the story of a forgotten promise, a hidden inheritance, and a heart that was never meant to stop believing. The morning began like every other morning. The sky was calm. The streets were silent. Nothing felt unusual. Nothing warned me that before the sun would set, everything I believed about my life would change forever. As I opened my front door, I noticed something resting on the old wooden step. A single envelope. No stamp. No return address. No name of the sender. Only one sentence. I unfolded the letter. Slowly. Carefully. The paper felt old. Yet untouched. As though time itself had protected it. For a few seconds, I couldn't read a single word. My heartbeat was louder than my thoughts. Then, my eyes found the first line. If this letter has reached your hands, it means the time has finally come. A cold silence filled the room. Every word pulled me deeper. It wasn't written like an ordinary message. It felt personal, almost as if the writer knew me, knew my fears, knew my questions, knew every tear I had hidden from the world. I continued reading. For many years, the truth about your inheritance remained hidden. Not because it was lost, but because it wasn't meant to be discovered. Until your heart was ready. I frowned. Inheritance? What inheritance? My family had never spoken about wealth. Never mentioned a forgotten legacy. Never hinted at any secret waiting for me. Yet, something deep inside refused to dismiss the letter. Every sentence felt strangely familiar. As if I had heard these words before. In a forgotten dream. Then, I reached another paragraph. My hands froze. The person who wrote this left this world long ago. A shiver ran through me. I looked around. The empty room. The silence. Suddenly felt alive. Questions filled my mind. Who were they? Why me? Why now? I searched for a signature. But there wasn't one. Only a single symbol. The same mysterious mark that sealed the envelope. I turned the page. There was one final sentence. Short. Simple. Yet powerful enough to change everything. The second letter is already on its way. I stopped breathing. A second letter? If this was only the beginning, then what truth was still waiting for me? Outside, the wind began to rise. The curtains moved without warning. And somewhere beyond the window, a single figure stood perfectly still, watching the house, watching me. To be continued. The figure never moved. It simply stood there, beyond the gate, silent, patient, as though it had all the time in the world. I blinked once, then twice. For a brief moment, I wondered if fear was playing tricks on my eyes. I stepped closer. To the window. The figure was gone. Only the wind remained, whispering softly through the trees. I looked back at the letter. One sentence wouldn't leave my mind. The second letter is already on its way. Why 2 letters? Why not 1? Unless the first was never meant to answer everything, only to prepare me. I folded the paper carefully, just as I was about to place it back inside the envelope. Something slipped out. A small key. Old. Silver. Its surface was covered with delicate symbols. The same symbol printed on the envelope. Attached was a tiny note. Only 6 words. Some doors wait for courage. I stared at the key. I had never seen it before. Yet somehow it felt familiar, as though my hands had held it many years ago. A memory tried to return. A wooden room. A warm voice. Someone smiling. Then darkness. Gone again. Before I could remember, my heart beat faster. Questions were multiplying. Who left this key? What door did it open? And why did it feel as though someone had been waiting for this moment my entire life? Just then, a loud knock echoed across the house. Once, twice, then silence. I walked slowly toward the door. My hand reached for the handle. I hesitated. Then I opened it. No one. Only a small wooden box resting quietly on the doorstep, and carved into its lid were the same words that appeared in the letter. The truth cannot wait forever. The wooden box was smaller than I expected. Simple. Unpolished. Yet somehow it carried a quiet weight. Not the weight of wood, but the weight of unanswered years. I lifted it carefully. It wasn't locked, only tied with an old, faded ribbon. The same symbol appeared again. I untied it slowly, almost afraid that opening it would change everything forever. Inside, there was no treasure, no gold, no jewels, only a worn leather journal, a folded map, and one final envelope. My heart skipped a beat. Across the envelope, someone had written, in careful handwriting, "Not everything inherited can be counted." I whispered those words again and again. They didn't sound like instructions. They sounded like wisdom. I opened the journal first. Its pages were faded, fragile,